Next question, what can I do to terminate or furlough employees until the market comes back? So I guess this person's really asking how to terminate or furlough. We've already touched, guys, all three of us have already touched about how the people are going to perceive relative to the communication. Joe gave a great analogy, a visual of Bruce or a scar. So, this is obviously somebody looking to go ahead and make a decision right now. And for those that have to do that, and in some cases that is going to have to be the case, what can we do to do that? And how would you guys go about it? And would you terminate or furlough?
Joe,
Michael?
Yep. Let me go.
Yeah, go ahead, jump on there.
I think it does go back to, you've got to really think about what these decisions, what are the ramifications of these decisions, short-term and long-term, not just to your business, but to these team members, these family members that you have working with you. I don't care whether they've been with you a short period of time or a long period of time. They've come to you for a reason, and they're part of your organization, and this is how they make their livelihood. So, first of all, I think that these decisions should be, the last ditch scenario. And look, there's reality to that. I get that. Before you do that, I think, and reduction in compensation versus termination and furlough should be handled. And if you have not made decisions that you should have made a long time ago, people are really taking advantage of doing those things now. And I get that too. I don't really love that, quite honestly. You should have made those decisions a while back, but you are where you are. So I guess, Bert, to answer the question, I'm kind of hemming and hawing on this thing. If you're going to go that route, you've got to have a face-to-face, it can't be in person necessarily, but you have to have a face-to-face conversation about the why, what's going to happen to them, what your plan is with your business. I just think you've got to be super transparent about why the decision is going down and be candid, be very honest with them. So I think there's a second part to this question that I'll chime in on, later about, newer recruiters, but let's stay on the furlough term piece. Joe, what else do you have to say on that topic?
Yeah. So look, Mike, you hit an interesting point. There were some decisions that should have been made 5 weeks ago that we didn't make. And, I'm in the midst of one of those right now. I'm operating in my mindset that, this may be the moment in time that I make that decision, and I'm working through that. But I always ask myself as a leader whether that person's going to be with my firm now or never again is what do I want to be remembered for? Right? It might not be a popular decision, but how I made that decision and executed on it, that always weighs very heavy on me is how do I want to be remembered? And was I fair and transparent and confident? So that's number one. That's the first thing I run through my process. The second is as an owner is, and again, please take this in context. What you're always going to get with me is clarity. How long are you going to be in this business? If you've been on the bubble already thinking about whether or not this business is for you or not, this is the time to get out. This is the day to get out because you're never going to have a better excuse. Now, the other side of that. I have traded in my 401k twice in my professional career. I have cashed in my life insurance policies and then couldn't get them rewritten again because I have heart failure. I could never get it again. And when I cashed it in, I knew I wouldn't be able to get it again. I mortgaged lines of credit on my houses because I knew that this is what I needed to do. And I'm incredibly happy. Do I have to do that today, now? Mm-mm. But had I not done those things back in that day, I wouldn't be sitting here as the chief vision officer or the chairman of my TMG companies. So you've got to decide, are you in this forever Or are you in this because it's been fun to make cash over the last 10 years because it's the easiest job in the world to make $500,000 at, and it's the hardest job in the world to make $100,000 at? So that's my answer.
You know, I was asked a question yesterday in an interview, what I was scared of and why, under the current circumstances, what's going on. Look, I wrote a big check to own MRI, and now this happens, right, in a transformational organization. And I think what Joe's bringing up is you have to make that decision about what you want to do. I believe I am doing what I am put on this planet to do. Was my answer yesterday. I was put on this planet to do exactly what I'm doing right now. And that is why I wrote that check. That is why I've taken money out of my 401k. That is why I've cashed advanced credit cards in the past. If you're an entrepreneur, every one of you out there listening to this, you've done something to some degree. Number one, just opening up and doing anything that you own that you have to operate takes a different person. Now you have to make the decision: are you doing what you're put on this earth to do, and are you on a mission, or do you doing this just to have a job? And so those are questions you have to ask yourself during times like this. And I think that's a great answer, Joe. The other part there that if anybody wants, and I do have, for those listening, reach out to me. I do have some templates. I was asked if you have templates around how to communicate furloughs or how to terminate people. We have those. I'm not going to take you through point by point how to do that on this broadcast, but I do have them, and I can get those in your hands. So just reach out, please. I'm going to go with the last question, or we can go on as long as you guys want, but there's a couple more here. This one here, I think, is going to take some time because I think it's a really good question. What advice do I give, or in this case, what advice do the three of us give to new employees just beginning their recruiting career? So,
I had two new people start on March 2nd, and they're right over there in the bullpen. They're right over there. Look, I started in December 4th, 1989. Bert, as you pointed out in our session early in the week, my second year, I was Regional AE of the Year in one of the toughest markets in 1990. I didn't know any better. And so I'm like, dude, you should be happy as heck, because I don't know if it'll ever get more challenging than this for you to spend your 2 days if you played ball in college or high school, right? So what do I tell them? I'm like, listen, actually, you're starting this job in the easiest time it's ever been, because you've got LinkedIn, you've got the internet, you've got digital transition, you've got, you've got the ability to right now become a real student of the industry you're in and the recruiting world, because you can study 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day. So look, we start our people on salaries, and so it's even more challenging if you think of it only from execution on compensation ROI. But we don't, when we hire somebody, we plan on them not making money for us the first year. So I'm ahead of the game because I know that they're going to make money. And my one guy has already got 3 sendouts on his first JO, all, TIs, of course, but nonetheless, he's got them going in 2 weeks. Look, you're starting a new career. If you plan on being in this for 20 years, it's going to be a blip. So manage it appropriately. And, it'll never get harder than this, I should say, or let's hope it doesn't. That's my answer.
Yeah. Look, I think, many, not all, but many of the great recruiters in our industry joined when times were very difficult. And my opinion on the reason of that is super simple. They had to form the right habits, because there was no way you were going to survive like today. You're not going to survive today unless you have the right habits. And look, I've also seen some really, really talented people that should have been able to crush our industry, right? And just dominate and kill it. come in some times where you didn't have to work so hard and things just kind of came together, and they didn't form those habits. And then that consistent day one mentality, and that constant grinding, and you kind of take for granted that it's not easy. Our business is never easy in any economic time. I think I said that already, but people form amazingly great habits when they've got to really think about how they're doing what they're doing, know their industry intimately well, think about the client, right? I want to approach this with empathy. I want to be able to be a sounding board. I don't want to be just an opportunistic, money hungry person. All of those are great qualities, and those are things that are so critical in building a relationship in any economic time. So, man, I think it doesn't feel it. It doesn't feel like, hey, this is a blessing, but it really, really is. If you came to this industry for the right reasons and you really want to make a career of it, these days and weeks, and hopefully not too many months, but that we've got in front of us, are going to teach you some amazing lessons and great habits.
Amen.
Yeah.
This is recruiting Darwinism at its best, team.
Yeah, and I got those out there. I have a whole list, because as I'm thinking like this, not all of them are sitting over in the bullpen to Joe's left. Like he didn't. A lot of us. Is that your left? That's your left, right? Your left.
That's my left. Yeah, you're
yeah,
reversed on the camera. Yeah.
Stage right, I guess what I would say based on screen. But a lot of the offices around the country, they have to be at home, and you have new people, and in terms of having to get them trained. I have a list of some check boxes and points that I would be happy to share in a virtual scenario, and happy to share with anybody who emails me. The one thing I would share is I've been seeing a lot of communication guys. A guy named Harvey Bass, longtime veteran, he's a really kind of a pain in the ass, actually.
Harvey's awesome, dude. I love Harvey.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love Harvey. But what he put out to the group, and I thought was outstanding. He had a list, detail what he's doing every single day at a very, very fundamental, tactical level, how he communicates, what the expectations are, how he follows up, where they're going, and how they communicate back and forth, what's going on each day, twice a day. It was an outstanding email. And so from a very basic fundamental principle, follow that blueprint.
Yeah, and by the way, just to put things in context, because I started out when Harvey started out, this was when you had an office where there wasn't even a fax machine. For those that you've been in long enough, you can remember that you would run up front for the mail to come, and the ops admin person would hand out the envelopes with the resumes that were mailed out in them. So Harvey returning back to his core fundamentals is like, that's his blanket. That's my blanket. And so looking, I would say that the next, roundtable here needs to have Harvey in it, and those who grew up pre-fax machine and pre-email and pre-internet, for sure. So big shout out to Harvey for leading the way on that.
No question. Any finishing touches you guys would like to put on this? Joe, Michael?
I'm good. Listen, I'm just thankful to have an organization like this. Bert, you and Beats and Mike Bitar being on here and leading the way with this. The amount of information is just unbelievable. So I'm proud to be part of this initiative.
Thank you. I am as well, and I think when we got together here not too long ago with a number of the owners from across the network to put together some really cool video. One of the things that was discussed on the last day was what makes MRI, special. And, we were not even allowed to use the word community because everybody was using it. That was the first thing that came out of everybody's mouth. What an amazing family, what an amazing community. So, to have some diversity in response, we were asked to focus on some other things that made it unique. But just being part of such a network and a community, to provide the support, to do things like we're doing right now, to get these questions that are coming in, to see the manager talk and the great collaboration that's going on right now. It's truly motivating for me. And I think, you see the real character of people when times are tough, right? And it's cool to see the real character of MRI shining through. So glad to be with you guys today.
No, thanks, Michael. Proud to have you as my business partner. And Joe, welcome as the newest business partner and Chief Vision Officer of MRI. Thank you very much. The thing I would like to share is, look, it is a serious time, and I wish all your families, your businesses, and your friends health and safety, and look forward to helping in any way we possibly can. Our doors are always open. I know we're virtual right now, but our doors are always open, and we always have an ear for you. So please reach out if you need something. We will respond. Welcome to the team, man. I'm really, really happy. I know it's 22 years coming, so welcome.
Awesome.
All right. We're going to close this thing up. I don't know what we're going to do moving forward, Joe, but I know we're going to have some sort of panel moving forward with bringing other people on, or work to bring other folks on that are working in the trenches each and every day that we want to provide something. So we're going to need a name for that at some point. So look forward to working with you on that as well.
You got it. Thanks so much, everybody. Regards from Delray Beach to everybody.
Have a good
Take
afternoon.
care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.